All right. Good evening, everybody. All right. Baby, just let me get it first before you sit down.
Good evening, everybody. Happy Taco Tuesday and other things Tuesday.
What up, Cornelius?
Hey, Danisha. Hey, Cornelius.
So we tried to get on last week, but our schedule has completely changed, and our children are now having track meets. But we're dedicated to this, so we're gonna make sure that we still bring you guys how to make love work 8:30 p.m. every Tuesday night. We're excited about it. It has been life changing for us always first, and it's also we've heard so many great things from you guys about these conversations, and even those of you who have connected with us for couples counseling. It's been absolutely amazing. So we're going to continue to bring you all how to make love work. So let's speak to everybody.
Jocelyn.
What
Hey.
up, Jocelyn?
Hey. And congratulations to you and Kevin. I won't disclose it, but you can put it here in the comments if you want. Um,
Hey, Donisha,
hey,
Rosemary.
cousin.
What we got else?
Diane. Hey,
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 Diane.
hey. Tonight's topic, yes. Miss
Pamela.
Pamela,
What's
hello.
good? All right. Yeah. So we're gonna jump in
Hmm.
and talk about the incident at the Oscars Academy Awards uh,
Adriana, hello.
about 2 Sundays ago, right?
Yes, yeah. She's starting to
What up, Joe? All right, so
Hey.
we're gonna talk about that. If you've been living under a rock, then you don't know what's happening. But most of us are very aware that Chris Rock was not hosting. He was actually
She was presenting an
presenting
award.
an award, and he was doing his jokes. And he did a joke. We're having a baby. Y'all having a baby?
Yes.
Are they
Yes.
really?
Yes.
The Willises?
That's Jocelyn.
Oh, Jocelyn.
Well, where you playing?
Okay, yeah. Oh, Jocelyn,
Jocelyn.
y'all having a
Yes.
baby?
Yes.
Oh, dope. Oh, that's what's up. Congratulations, Jocelyn. Hey, y'all tell Jocelyn and Kevin congratulations. They're having a baby. They've
Yes.
been married for what? 2 years?
I don't even think it's been a whole year yet. Or did they
No,
just
it's been a
celebrate one
year.
anniversary?
A year or so,
Yeah.
and they are having a baby. That is excellent. What's up, Shamika?
Baby mama.
All right,
Baby
so again, we're
mama.
talking about the Will and Jada situation. Again, Chris Rock was telling jokes, and he did a joke about Jada's bald head. And you guys know that Jada, uh,
Everybody did know. So I won't say you guys know.
so Jada, you guys know about what?
You said you guys know that. So everybody don't know her situation.
I was not about to say that.
Okay, I cut you off.
I was gonna say you guys know that Jada responded. If you watched it, she responded to it negatively. She didn't like the joke. And then, hey, Shayla
Sorry.
and Will laughed at first, and then he went on the stage and walked straight up to Chris Rock, slapped him in his face, and then walked back and sat down. And then he said to Chris Rock, "Do not put his wife's name in his mouth." He said it twice, and he was using profane language, and he interrupted the whole Oscars night.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's what we're talking about. What's up, Crystal?
Hey.
Um, So before we go any further, I just want to kind of take a poll as to what you guys thought about that. So what Will Smith did, we're gonna do two polls. What Will Smith did, thumbs up, thumbs down. That's all I want you to do. You can put your comments in it if you like as well. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Y'all already know I got to get my glasses.
Jessica
Uh,
says, or baby, put it up on your phone. Jessica says, why we have to
put what
talk
my
about
phone.
that? Pull that up so you can see the comment.
Oh,
That was
All right, so that's a thumbs down for you. Okay. All right,
embarrassing.
somebody else. Anybody else? Thumbs up, thumbs down. We're not talking about just what happened. What we're gonna talk about is what we talked about, how to make love work. So we're going to talk about the love dynamics, the relationship dynamics, the wife dynamic, the husband dynamic. That's what we're gonna talk about regarding that particular episode. So thumbs up, thumbs down. What's up? What y'all got?
two, two thumbs down so far.
All right. We're not talking about. We got three thumbs down. Okay.
Four.
All right. Where's he five at?
That's the five.
One, two, three, four. That's what I got.
I thought you counted his twice.
No.
And
All right. So we got. So far we got all thumbs down. I love him. I get, but I
mm-hmm.
get it. But thumbs down. All right. All right. So Jocelyn says thumbs up. Okay. Dope. 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 So y'all got to give us some insight. So I want to hear from you guys. Why do you say thumbs down? Or and Jocelyn who said thumbs up. Why do you say thumbs up?
That's broad. Just he could have handled the situation better. What's what in what way? Because a lot of people have said that he could have handled the situation better. What? Because we all have our own opinions and thoughts. What's better?
Yeah, I'm
What's
gonna
a
take a
better way?
moment. I'm gonna turn that light off.
Go ahead. What's a better way that you feel the situation? Because that wasn't Will Smith. That was Mike Lowry.
All right, so let's try to comb through some things that happened when Chris Rock first did the joke. Immediately, Jada was upset about it. Also, immediately Will Smith laughed about it. All right, so we've talked about this, of course, for some time now. So one of the things that was observed from us is that Will Smith probably laughed at it immediately because that's probably how he handles uncomfortable situations or awkward situations. He just laughs it off, opposed to directly confronting it. And then you're in the public, and he's in the public eye, they're in the public eye. Plus, he's actually in a public place, public setting. So he probably just laughed it off. It may not have been funny to him. He may not have liked it, but he probably just laughed it off because he's done it so many times in his career before, where he just laughs off things. And of course, they are in the public eye. So, and they've been. I mean, Will Smith and Jada have both been in the public eye for
Yeah.
decades, right? 30, 40 decades. So yeah,
Not decades. Not 30, 40 decades.
I mean, 3 or 4 decades, I'm sorry, 30, 40 years. And they are used to scrutiny, and so, but they probably have fallen into a go-to way to respond to awkward stuff, which often is laughing it off. All right, and so I think that's probably, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. That's probably what he did at first. He just laughed it off. All right. So wait a minute. Let's comb through some of this stuff.
Okay. Jessica says he could have handled the situation better. His wife is unhappy. He could have pulled Chris Rock aside afterwards and had a conversation. Diana says this was Jada pulling strings on Will. Cornelia says he was out of pocket. Chris Rock is a comedian. Everything he says should be taken lightheartedly.
Hmm.
Shamika says he could have addressed him after the fact. Now, thumbs up, Jocelyn says he was defending his wife, and at the end of the day, he is human. Some people get slapped every day for being disrespectful. It's not. It's just not public.
Okay.
Shayla says, I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. However, he could have handled it by speaking with Chris after the fact. Joe says it was an emotional reaction. His emotions was pulled by his wife, not Chris Rock.
Mm. Go ahead.
Diane says she agreed with Joe. Jessica said he should have he should act like that when she had her entanglement.
All right. So all this is good stuff. So Jocelyn says like what's her name? Tiffany Haddish.
Mm.
That they there are a lot of people that are with Jocelyn and Tiffany Haddish that are applauding Will. I think she. Do you remember what she said?
it was beautiful, and that pretty much, yeah, he was protecting his wife, and it was a beautiful
And we don't
thing.
see this
We
that
don't see it
often.
often on
It
anytime.
should be celebrated. A black man, a black king, celebrating or protecting his black queen in such open fashion and so forth. So she was defending what Will did, that it was such a beautiful act. All right. And so you have some, as Joe here tonight has said, that Will, was reacting, not responding, but reacting to Jada's strings emotionally, not to Chris Rock's joke.
Hmm.
All right, so let me see what Shamika said, and and I'll share mine. Some people die every day also because of trying to defend their wife, and it was just a joke. All right, now you cannot be as famous as they are and not be the butt of jokes all the time, because you put yourself out there. Of course, we're not going to deny the fact that this whole thing, not whole thing, but this joke was about her bald head, and her offense was because of her alopecia. It could be because of her alopecia, or it could be because she's just irritated with Chris Rock. And it
Hmm.
could have been any joke that Chris Rock said that could have set her off, because this is not the first time Chris Rock has joked on Jada. In 2016, Jada Smith
Boycotted.
boycotted
Hmm.
the Oscars, and Chris Rock did a joke at the Oscars saying Jada boycotting the Oscars is like him boycotting Rihanna's underclothes, saying he wasn't invited. And so, in essence, it's like, well, how you gonna boycott something you're not invited to? So that was the joke there. And then he comes around again and does this joke. And perhaps in between 2016 2022, he's probably joked a million other times about the Smiths, and other people have as well. However, yes, Jada and Will have been in the public eye more and more, and especially with the light shining on the relationship. We talked about, we heard about the entanglement with, what his name was?
August.
August. The entanglement with August. And so it's just been a lot of light there.
Welcome, Larry and Ashley. Welcome,
What up,
welcome.
Larry, Ashley? So it's been a lot of stuff there. So here's my thing. You want to share yours first, and then I share mine?
No, go ahead.
So I think, just let me just, long story short, I think that what Will displayed was was a sense of weakness. It wasn't a sense of strength. It looked like strength on the outward because it was a physical act, but it was weakness in my opinion. I think also that it was embarrassing
Gross.
and gross. Yeah, that's a good word, gross, to display yourself in such fashion. Some say he snapped, and
I don't think. But I'm sorry. I don't
no,
think
go
he.
ahead.
I don't think he is. In my opinion, when you snap, there is seriously a chemical imbalance or something going on the inside. He made a decision. He was mad enough to, and he made a choice.
Yes, yes, you're right.
That's
But
how
say
I
that
look
again. That was good. That snapping is the result of some actual mental chemical balance
at it. Imbalance
or imbalance happening in your
in
body,
your
in your
body,
brain.
right?
Right. Yeah.
And you are involuntarily acting.
And
That wasn't no
yeah,
involuntary action that he
yeah.
did.
Schizophrenia, hallucinating, um, bipolar, where you are down, depressed, and then all of a
Or you're
sudden
being under the influence of something.
right.
That is seriously taking control of you.
Those are involuntary responses to a chemical imbalance in your body.
All right, he made a cool, calm,
Calculated
calculated decision to go up there and handle his business.
is our opinion. Now, is our opinion. Now, because at the end of the day, he sat with it. He laughed, which means he had a response to. He had an initial response to uh, what happened. He had an initial response, and then he had a different response when he saw his wife not being bothered by it. Here's the other thing. He had to get up. He had to think to his mind, I'm going to get up. And then he had to walk to Chris. Even if you say he snapped, which you don't snap, you make decisions, right? Snap again was, Marquita put it very, very good. is a response or is an involuntary reaction to a chemical imbalance. He was had to think every step he took to get to advance himself to Chris was a
Oh, he thought
thought,
about it. Yeah.
was a thought, was a thought.
Mhm.
He had to determine, am I going to say something? Am I going to slap? Am I going to punch? He thought it through. He had enough
Yeah.
time to think to go sit back down. Enough time to think to just say something to him. So it's not a snap. These all the decisions are being made swiftly. These are decisions that are being made.
And with that side note, we'll come back to it. Jada's response to him actually getting up and walking.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
That was yeah. That's something
Yeah.
else that I feel was a choice.
Right. So I'm not saying I'm mad at him or anything like that. I am we're just responding to what happened. I don't I think what he did was opposite of protecting his wife. People say, well, he's protecting his wife, he's protecting his wife. For one, his wife is okay.
She wasn't in danger.
She was not in danger, and he was not, going to bat for his wife. Because at the end of the day, that slap is not, it's made more people talk about them than less. That slap did not deter people from talking about his wife and say, you know what, nobody will ever talk about her ever again because he slapped her. No, ma'am, no, sir. That slap caused people to talk about him more, talk about her more.
Think about it. I honestly don't think Chris Rock was making a
Disgusting joke.
right. Like he said, it was a G.I. Jane joke. Everybody saw it, or everyone that saw G.I. Jane, no, she had to cut her hair lower than what mine is not. She had to cut her hair. Oh, you're wearing that hairstyle like G.I. Jane. I mean, everybody not walking around think, oh yeah, Jada got alopecia.
Right.
And then you're so open with everything that you do. You're showing everybody the alopecia. The people that actually follow you and want to know all your business. Those are us that don't really follow you like that and don't really want to know all your business and not that aware of what's going on with Jada and her personal situation. Thought it was just a simple G.I. Jane reference.
Let me not get too far back from what people are saying. Okay, so Diane says I think it would have been beautiful if it wasn't for Jada. Cornelia says violence should not be applauded. That should have been a stern look or conversation afterwards. And from man to man,
you still could be a man.
you know what that look
Yeah,
means.
like not about this one.
Right. So let's see. Jessica says so she was mad about the joke, but it was funny when Will slapped him. Now he's paying for it. Right, we'll get to that in a second, right? So Jocelyn says, I think it was the topic he touched on. A woman crown is very sensitive. Her hair is important to a woman. Shayla says this was not the first time that Chris Rock made fun of Jada. Right, absolutely. Diane says I don't think he snapped either, and he wasn't initially mad. It was when he saw Jada's reaction that's what triggered him. Um, and Shayla says I agree that he made a decision. All right,
He
cool.
didn't want to have to go home face like, why you didn't do that for me? Why you just let him do this? I mean, that whole other thing. You just let them do something. We're not in control of nobody but ourselves.
What
So
happened now?
I said he probably didn't want to have to go home and hear, how you just gonna let him do this, let him do that. That whole thought process about you let somebody disrespect me or you let somebody think that they can do this. We're not in control over nobody but ourselves.
So let's get to that.
So I agree with it still could be addressed.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just a way to do it.
A strong man does not allow the whims and the emotions of his wife to emasculate him
And
puppet him. So he can handle that as a man, not looking like, not trying to be Tarzan
or
for her,
right.
because I want you to go punch him or forget their situation, or not forget their situation, but aside from the situation where a woman says, "Well, I want you to go cuss him out," or "I need you to go confront him," because she's emotional and you giving her the exacts of what she thinks she wants at the time can make you look like a fool. As a man, you must learn how to protect your family, your wife. You must learn how to always be poised, even if you're having to get some quote unquote straightening. Always still be poised and still be a man to where when you're done doing whatever it is you needed to do in order to protect your family, or in order to stand up for your family, you still look like a man when it's done, not like someone who just wanted to please their spouse and was willing to be totally emasculated, puppeted, and embarrassed, and not look like a man just so that their spouse would say, "Well done."
Right. Now my thing is the whole protection.
Cedric and Jasmine are on. What's up, Cedric? I
Hey,
know
y'all,
you.
what's
How
up?
did the biscuits turn out?
So my thing is, if someone made a comment earlier about violence not being used, the I would say the only time I feel that violence is appropriate is if violence is approaching me.
Right.
If violence is approaching me, then I'm expecting,
Right.
especially if it's coming from a male, I'm expecting my husband to step in and handle that.
What's up,
Because I mean,
James?
I'm gonna be ready to handle
What's up,
it,
Chantel?
male
Now,
or
now,
female. But
and
I'm expecting from my husband, like this is a whole
right.
man over here. I'm
And
expecting him
expecting
to
or
handle
not, I have to assess the situation and determine if violence is necessary. Although, as Marquita said, violence may be approaching her. Now, if it looks like violence is approaching her, that still doesn't mean I have to become violent.
it. It don't mean, yeah, it don't mean you have to come violent. I'm gonna be violent. If violence is coming at me, I'm going to. That's just my personal choice to respond violently.
Yeah,
But
but
I'm going to be expecting my husband like to do something, whether it's violence, whether it's you saying something verbally or whatever. I am
yeah,
expecting
but what I'm
somebody.
saying is that this is the case in point. Just because she's expecting that doesn't mean I have to do that.
Right.
I
Yeah.
need to assess the situation, and I need to make the right decision, not only now, but a decision that's going to be beyond the now.
Mhm. Right.
And it could be that I need to just remove us from the situation, and that stops the violence because we're no longer there. And if I have to, I think violence is what did he say?
Is violence necessary?
Right. I think that violence should be the very last choice. Now, if you're already being attacked violently,
Right.
then of course you said being approached with violence, and I thought that to say, well, being threatened with violence, or violence is about
Okay. Well, yeah.
seemingly about to happen.
Threats or anything like that, or maybe I should, you know, correct my wording. Threats and like you're saying, like somebody actually approaching you with violence and all that stuff, is violence really necessary? That's a good point. But if I am being attacked, like physically attacked, I'm gonna be violent, and I do expect for, like you said, my husband to get us out of the situation, whatever
Right.
way that is.
Exactly.
But I'm going to be violent. You
So
violent
if
me.
if
I'm
if
working on vengeance is mine.
oh Lord, can you let that go,
I'm
please?
working on vengeance is mine. Sing. Okay.
So if, of course, if your wife, talk to the man, if your wife is being attacked physically, you have to be physical to stop the attack. All right. And this is not about impressing her. This is about protecting your wife. Some
Yeah.
people react before thinking out the process. Uh, so I always disagree with that. Wrong. People don't react. People do act. Um, Now people say, I just blacked out and I just went to swinging,
I just
or
saw
I just saw red and that's when I cussed you out. Whether it's talking about your spouse to your spouse, or you to somebody else. I just blacked out and I just snapped. That all that is a lie. You don't black out. Blackout means you passed out and they need to take you to the hospital. You didn't black out. You didn't see red. That you don't just see red. If you see red, you're hallucinating. Then you take you to the hospital.
red.
Every other thing, you are making choices.
Mhm.
You may be being controlled by your emotion, whether the emotion is anger, whether the emotion is fear, or whether the emotion is sadness or whatever. But you are making a choice, although it may be being controlled by your emotions. You didn't snap, lie. You didn't black out, double lie. You didn't see red. And if you did see red, open your eyes and you see what's happening. Because you are making choices. When you cussed her, or when you slapped him, or when you called her a B or when you pulled the trigger, you made a choice, a
Be it
calculated
out of anger or
choice.
whatever.
Whether it was like it could have been out of ego, it could have been out of pride, or it could have been out of fear. You so scared that you just hit the trigger because, or you just he was walking out the door. You were so scared that he's never gonna come back that you threw the glass and broke the whole door. You are making choices, though. That's the point I'm making. And I will not give Will Smith the excuse card that he blacked out, snapped, none of that. I don't think this was a mental situation. Perhaps, I was like this one person said that this was a buildup of all the stuff he's had to take. This was a buildup of all the stuff that they've had to take in the public eye and all that. Perhaps there is a buildup. Even in the buildup, you make a choice. How many of us go to work every day after a lot of stuff is being built up on coworkers trying to set traps for us, supervisors not liking us, it being a racist situation, they're not paying us enough, we're tired, um, uh, it's not enough money to make the ends meet, and this is a buildup, a buildup, and yet you make a choice to go to work and stay there until it's time for you to get off and you go do it again. Make a choice, and you may decide, all right, I'm quitting, but that you didn't snap. You made a choice. You may decide enough is enough. I'm not going back, and you just didn't go back. You didn't snap. You made a choice.
And even if it is a buildup, you still made a choice to address whatever the buildup is or whatever straw that was. You made a choice to address that straw because everything was probably laying on your mind, whatever. And that's why people are saying, well, you didn't address this or you didn't address that, but you chose to address that.
Right. Right. And I mean, and case in point, a transparent moment. Story time.
Talk,
Story time.
story time.
You ready for this?
I gotta
It's
come
coming
back
at
down.
you. What'd you say?
I gotta come back down.
Yeah, you come back down. Anyway, story time. So I was about 19 years old, and I was ordered by the judge to go and take anger management courses. And in the anger management courses, they taught us about belittling our actions, excusing our actions, and the stuff that I'm telling you guys about now, about how we say, "Man, I just snapped. I was just sick of it," or "I blacked out." And all those are hogwash lies. You don't black out. You don't do any of that. You make a choice. Howbeit, it may have been the wrong choice. Howbeit, it may be a damaging. You got to go to the court, sentenced to anger management. Howbeit, you are making a choice. I don't care how bad the choice is, it's a choice. It's not so. Listen, you don't let yourself be excused by I snapped and all this other stuff like that. And don't let anybody else sit on the excuse that, man, I just snapped. No, you did not. You made a choice. All right. What's up, Tiffany? What's up, Marcella? Let's see. All right, so let's see what people are saying. So Shayla says, this is an interesting, or that is an interesting explanation on making a choice. Jocelyn says, I didn't know that in my younger days, you pop off at me, you was gonna get
Yeah.
handled, but I have changed since then. You've not changed, you've grown. Cedric says, yes, hold him accountable. Absolutely. Absolutely. One is always in control of their actions. Always. What's up, Dia?
Hey.
So Cedric says, really, you had to take anger management classes? I would have never guessed.
Not you.
Ah,
Not you.
Joe says the sad part is how Jada has mentally abused Will to the point where he disregarded his career and possibly freedom to please her off the words of another man. Now let's get into it. Okay, so once again, Will didn't snap. He made a choice, and even though the buildup of whatever's going on in his life is real, he still made a choice. I think it was a very sloppy choice. I think it was a very disgusting choice. I think it was a choice of weakness, and I think it was an emotional choice. Honestly, and here's the total honesty of that. They don't let me.
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
Okay, I think it also was. I think he also slipped into acting because once you start that role, you have to commit to it.
Might lie, I'm telling
You got
you.
you got to commit to it. You got to go all the way, which also means that now ego is controlling and puppeting you. You know, and now you're gonna cuss him out and all stuff. And maybe he was hot, but you cussing him out and all this other stuff. Pride is now taking a role, and immature masculinity is now taking over. And I believe he succumbed to each and every one of them. And all of that was a display for his wife. It had nothing to do with the rest of us.
And then a lot of people are saying he's a comedian, just like
Who's a comedian?
what's his
Chris
name?
Rock?
Yeah, Chris Rock is a comedian, just like Will Smith is also been in their role of a comedian. So it comes with the territory. So someone say open up a whole bunch of discussion about alopecia, and it also opened up a whole bunch of discussion about comedians and their safety
Absolutely.
in their craft.
Right. Demond Demond Mitchell says you don't get points for protecting your wife from a non-threat. All right, so let's talk about Jada. So Jada immediately responds to Chris Rock's joke with disgust. She didn't like it. And then when Will, now let me tell you this: Jada and Will know each other better than anybody knows them.
Yeah, somebody, how do we know Jada is doing all this to Will?
Right?
We don't. We're not in
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we don't. So we got to give both sides.
Yeah.
You ready?
No, I'm saying we don't. We don't know. I'm just saying overall, we don't. None of us
Do it again. You ready to pop up on me now?
about to.
You gonna snap or you gonna make a choice?
Make a choice. None of us know. We only know what they put out there. I should say that. What they want us to know.
All right. So Jada watches Will walk up on the stage.
Sit cross leg or not.
Now let me tell you what Jada did. Jada did what Will should have done. She had a poker face on. We don't know what she was thinking. We all have judgments and speculations as to what she should have done, what she didn't do, and what she was doing. But what she did was she just stood there or she sat there. So we don't know if that was in support of Will. If we don't know if that was not in support of Will. If we don't know if she was saying, "Yeah, I bet you better get it." We don't know because she sat there making a choice not to give away whatever she was thinking.
She didn't engage Will. She didn't touch him. She didn't try to prevent him. Like saying, "Oh, well, they were."
All right, so you go into your judgment. So I'm just saying,
how is that judgment?
without the judgment, if those are things you think she should have done.
No, I'm not saying that's the thing. No, I'm not saying that those are the things I think that she should have done. I'm just elaborating on her sitting there.
Right.
Because you're saying that she sat there and hid whatever. But some people are saying she could have did this, she could have did that, she could have.
But that's what I'm saying. Those are the judgments there. That not from you, but those are people have said. Well, she could have just touched his hand or touched his arm or looked back at him because when he went up there, she made no adjustments to her seat. She made no movement. When he came and sat down and he began yelling and being irate toward Chris Rock in front of everybody, she did not even look his way.
That's what I'm saying. She didn't engage him
Right.
Anyway.
So some people say, well, she could have. What they are basically saying that she could have showed the public some sign that would have appeased our thoughts of whether she was, with him. And I think that is our judgment onto her. Because some people say, because you could say rather that she knows him enough to where she was intentional not saying anything at that time because it could have popped off even more or he could have become more irate or had she said something to him he could have turned that negative energy towards her. So it's a lot in there. And
we don't know what happens behind closed doors.
We do not know.
If he pop off like this and does stuff like this on a regular. We see what they want us to see.
Right, what they want us to see.
Exactly.
So I think everybody who has she should have done this or should have done that is projecting their thought or their desire or expectation onto her.
And will.
And will. Now, I will say, that being said, what's up, Joy? That being said, go to bed. That being said, Wait a minute, Cedric says something. Cedric says, oh, go to, she said, got to go board my flight. Oh, Shayla, have a good flight.
Be safe, safe travels.
Cedric says, I'm disappointed in his actions with his status in the industry. He could have handled Mr. Rock differently. He definitely could have hurt him or handled him financially or legally. Uh,
That's another route.
all right. Tiffany says, Will demonstrating violent and impulsive behavior to protect Jada, and she has yet to protect him. She got she got to have stopped him. She could have stopped him when she saw him getting up. Time and place for everything. Cedric says, for him to react on a platform where our culture had to fight to be respected and accepted was heartbreaking. All right. So yeah, let's say that we agree that over the past months, the public perception, because it's not necessarily true, but the public perception of Jada is that she continues to embarrass and demean her marriage and her husband. That's the public perception, right?
I would say that, yes.
Yeah. Again, as Marquita said, they only show us what they want us to see, not what they want us to know. Because even though they're showing us something, that doesn't mean that we know anything.
Right. And even with the whole August thing, they only had a red ticket talk discussion about it because someone else was in front of the narrative.
Right. And so they decided to try and clean up the narrative. Some people said, he should have slapped August for the entanglement. Let's back up off that because at the end of the day, whatever happened with August and Jada was consensual. So how you gonna slap him for Jada willingly laying down with him? You don't slap him for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't slap him. You don't slap August. He should do that with August. No, 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 no. That was a consensual engagement or entanglement. So no, that's not need for him to slap nobody. However, right or wrong, Jada, the public perception of Jada is that she is not doing well with this whole wife stuff. When it comes to Will, what's up? Go ahead.
Joe said, I wish Chris Rock would have told another hair joke after he got slapped, saying like, "Wow, man, these are just jokes. Calm down." I would. He wanted to see how mad he could have gotten with
Right, and then said another my fight back is these jokes.
it. Right.
So you slapped me,
Because you didn't control my
but
mouth.
here go another one. All right, but I mean, at the end of the day, uh, our point in this is there is a way to protect your wife, and there's a way not to. I believe when he did that, he made that decision, albeit that it was, in my opinion, out of weak emotion and insecurity in his role in his relationship. He left his wife more unprotected. And I believe it's insecurity. I believe that when you watch their relationship, the perception is that he deals with a lot of insecurity. He talked about it on the Breakfast Club before he talked about Tupac and Jada. He said that Tupac and Jada didn't have a sexual relationship that he knows of because he can't say they didn't because he don't know. But he said that they did not have a sexual relationship. But he never really had a relationship with Tupac because he just couldn't be mature enough to connect with him because he was insecure about Tupac because he know that Jada and Tupac had such a connection, such a love with one another that he couldn't measure up to. And I think from then on, he's always now Will Smith is the uh, competitive. He's the ultimate competitive person, and so I believe that from his very early on connections with Jada caused insecurities to turn on his competitiveness. Now Tupac is dead, but yet he's still trying to get that level of love from Jada that Tupac did. And so he's competing with her. With I remember he had like flowers to fill the whole room one of their anniversaries or either it was her birthday or something like that. It was like you couldn't take a step because there was roses and flowers everywhere. So Offset is not the first one that's done that. and he had it everywhere. And I think all of these things were his insecurity, trying to get that level of respect from her, and that level of admiration from her, and that level of connection and love from her that Tupac and maybe others have had. And he gave her children, and it seemed like that didn't do it. I remember her 40th birthday, he went all out and he just does stuff over the top, and those things didn't do it. And whatever,
According to her.
according to her, and whatever their bedroom situation was, it seemed as if she was not satisfied, and so now she has entanglements or they have an open relationship, whatever the case may be. So by and large, it seems as if that Will Smith has just not been able to measure up, and that will crush
A man's ego.
a man. Yeah, that will crush him to the point that he slaps a man at the Oscars because he keeps trying to get the affection from his wife that she seems to not give him to his satisfaction. We can't say that she doesn't give him affection and doesn't give him whatever, but it's obviously not to his satisfaction that he may mature out of his insecurity. Howbeit, his insecurity, his level of immaturity belongs to him, not to her. So it is not her job to mature him or her job to make him feel secure. That's his job. That's on him. Go ahead, babe. Make close these. Read what people are saying.
Jessica says, well, if they are at that point, then they need to walk away from each other. And it was funny because Jared and I were
What you want to say?
Jared and I were talking, and before the slap, I was like, they've been seen like a lot together lately, Will and Jada, like at different venues. And I was like, maybe it's a PR thing, because they're trying to reconnect and rekindle. Because they talked about it, of course, this is the perception that they gave us. That it's like he's working somewhere and she was working. They're doing their own little thing. So it's almost like they were two ships in the night
Right,
passing by.
right.
Like I won't say their whole life, but a good portion of the latter part of their life to the public eye. You saw him, but you didn't see her. You saw her, but you didn't see him. And then all of a sudden, like a couple of events are happening and you see them together. And then boom, this slap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, was this a PR thing? Like, what's going on? Well, the slap was real. Some people, was like, no, but it was real. So
Yeah.
now Will is making choices, I think, trying to right a wrong. Like resigning from the academy and finally doing a public apology to Chris, but not to Chris.
Because at the end of the day, I think Joe said it had nothing to do with Chris.
Right.
This was a way to finally be the Tupac for Jada.
And now they gotta go to the red table.
Because
We gonna watch,
yeah, we're gonna watch it for sure. But that's my assessment of it. This was his opportunity to be the Tupac for Jada. Like I'm gonna show you that I'm that guy for you, and you done messed up a whole freaking you messed up everything. You know what I mean? Now she's scrambling. Um, this didn't make her. Well, I can't say what it made her feel, but it definitely is more trouble than less after this. And at the end of the day, if she doesn't, however she feels about you is about how she's going to feel about you. You're not going to all of a sudden be this hero for her. She has settled in her mind who you are for her. And maybe you're never going to be that Superman for her, and that she may not need you to be the Superman for her to love you unconditionally. So whatever you are to her, Will, is what you are going to be. You don't have to try and be something else because you want to be this for her or to her. It's okay. You know what I mean? And it's not a void that you are not feeling. It's just with you, this is what I get, this is what I love. This is Jada to Will. And same thing for her. Everything that he wants, needs, desires, fantasizes about is not encapsulated into Jada. And she doesn't have to perform to become that. You know what I mean? Be okay, Will, and everybody else I'm talking to, with that's the male or the female. Be okay with the love that you get from your spouse, and be okay with whatever you mean to them. Because you can't, because some people, some men try to be more because they see their wife love their dad in such a way that she melts when he comes around, and even though she's married, if something happens, if she gets into a place, she calls him daddy, and that husband often is insecure about that, and it's like, I'm doing this for you, I'm doing this for you. Basically, I want you to see me like that. I want you to love me like that, and it's like, yeah, and it's like you don't have to be insecure about that. She loves you just the way you are, and she loves her dad. This is what her dad does for her, and she's never going to give that away. This is what you do for her, and it doesn't diminish who you are for her in her life. Does that make sense? Yeah, and vice versa. What?
And I think it's very insecure of, I mean, man or woman, whoever does that, try to come in between that, so to speak, or stop that, I should say, and try to stop that from happening. This is my daddy compartment. This is my mother's compartment. This is your compartment. As long as there's no disrespect and there's no pedestal
Right.
system going on, it is what it is.
Jessica says that they were not even sitting next to one another.
I think that's just how the seating was arranged for the people in the front, because it was like a table or something there. That's how the seating was arranged.
Then Jessica comes back and says Tupac would have shot him if it was Tupac.
I saw that.
Jessica
Yeah,
got all kinds
it's
of
a
stuff to
couple
say.
of
Don't.
memes, but I mean, I ain't gonna flip it. Let's get it
So Joe says Will just doesn't do it
on. Yeah, that's what
for Jada. She doesn't like him like
it
that. He listened to an old JT Money CD and move on.
is. Right.
And Demond, I hope I'm saying that right. Demond agrees. He says straight up, not straight up, straight up. My point exactly. So Diane says, from the outside looking in, we don't see the love that Jada gives. It seems like he doesn't satisfy her in multiple ways. She's with him because he's a great father and provider. Rakia says, I hope this frees him, shows that he can't make her love him. Jessica says, she needs a set it off man. So now we're talking about Jada. What time is it? We're talking about Jada and Will, but how much of this touches your own relationship?
Correct. That's not story time, y'all. What y'all story
Yeah,
time?
well, y'all story time. How much of this actually touches your own relationship wherein uh, there are parts of your spouse that um, you that they lack, that you long for more or whatever. I think maturity has to happen. You know what I mean? What my mother is to me, Marquita will never be. And the love that I feel from my mother, uh, I'm not looking for it from my wife, and there is no comparison there
Own compartment.
in your own compartment. So. Um, Now, like you said, but if there is an imbalance there, because you have some guys who everything is mama, everything is mama. We're in, you can't go anywhere without mama, or you can't do anything without mama, and it's obvious that mother comes first. Now, of course, that's going to create insecurities for your wife, and then it becomes a compare. Well, it don't become a comparison, but unfortunately, the weak or the most will begin to compare. Like, hey, man, I'm your wife. That's your mom. Why she got to come every time we go somewhere? Or every time I ask you about to do something, you go ask your mama about it. Or all of a sudden, I thought you were taking me out, and like that video that went viral on social media, where I guess the husband pulls up, and his mother is sitting in the front. He pulls up to pick up his wife, and his wife is like, "Why is she sitting in the front?" And mom was like, "I ain't moving. You sit in the back." It was a whole squabble. Now, of course, we've crossed some lines here.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah, we've crossed some lines here. And so then it's not about void or comparison. There's a whole lot going on there that needs to be addressed. However, there needs to be a maturity wherein you understand who you are in their life and they understand who they are in your life. And let me help you out here. You go ahead and read it.
okay.
Let me help you out here that you will never be their be all and end all. You will never be their 100% everything. Go ahead.
T. Key Player Harris says, "How far are you, Pastor Jay, willing to
How
go for your wife?"
how far am I willing to go for my wife? You will never know. Next question.
Man, what? I guess he was saying he's so into his wife. If she can find more in somewhere else, beloved, good thing. Shame on you for looking that deep into someone else to find what you're missing. Rose Oh yeah, I am who I am. Alright, okay. That was embarrassing. I would never expect my husband to slap another grown age man unless he is physically hurt. He's gonna slap the fire his tail. Got his hands around her throat.
Well,
Oh,
Curtis won't have to do that. He'll just go in and bloop, bloop, bloop. They did. Curtis know them. He know them real moves. He know them secret moves. He had them secret moves. Yeah, well, yeah. So you also need to determine what is protection.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is protecting your open your eyes? What is protecting your spouse? Period. You know what I mean? And then here's the other thing, and we'll let it go. Also, the whole thing we're in, at least publicly, there should be some type of decorum where people can sense that you have one another's back. It looked as if the perception was that Jada did not have his back at the red table and at the Oscar table. So I do believe that there should be some type of decorum publicly. Not forget the decorum, but the way you guys interact, there should be some obvious perception that they got one another's back. I'm not. So let me. So I want to say that clearly. Not a decorum where you have to put on, but just the way that you genuinely respond to one another and handle yourselves in the public. It should come off that you two have one another's backs. Ricky said she ain't had his back at
All tables.
none of the tables. Chantel says, just looking for my husband's response. All right. So let's see what Cedric says. Y'all do me a favor and stretch your hands to lady. This is weighing her heavy. Please stretch your hands, y'all.
So I was saying, like, who are you? What? You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
You don't want to know. Don't
Yeah.
put yourself in that situation.
But I won't be Will.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be me. Stretch your hands. Go to oil. Go get it.
Yeah. So again, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. I think it was a disgusting display of immaturity and insecurity. Joe says, "What about Chris Rock's reaction? I think he deserves an Oscar." Uh, I think at the end of the day,
It was extremely shocking. Like,
yeah, yeah. I mean,
publicly.
yeah.
Like, you would have just did this to me publicly, and you know me, and I know you.
I don't think that a guy like Chris Rock had, and that situation had the opportunity to really react because I think he was in shock. And in the setting, and I don't think he's a fighter like that. So I think
Number one.
that he didn't know what to do, and then not only that, but Will hit him and he walked back off. So he'd have to go run after him to go hit him back, almost. And I think I don't care how macho or butch we are. Chris Rock was still, in a laughing mode. Although he may have been a little put off by Will coming up to him, but he was still laughing like maybe Will was gonna try to come up here and joke on me,
Right.
or maybe Will's gonna try to come up here and say something and turn around and try to take over my little segment. I don't think that Chris was in the mindset that he's about to get hit. And so I just think that he was in shock. He was in shock. And I think he should have pressed charges. I think he should have sued him. Because at the end of the day, if you're a guy, let's just be honest, if you're a guy that does not like to be physical, you're just not a fighting guy. That's just you're never going to do it. You're never going to haul off and fight physically. Well, then learn how to fight some other way.
That's why some people are saying, he should have sued them or whatever. And I think Will's trying to get ahead and, like I said, right some what he feels are some wrongs. Um,
Right.
yeah. Um,
What we missing?
Jessica said that on a happier note, they'll be married 11 years tomorrow. Jesus,
Dope,
very good.
Jessica, congratulations.
Oh my God, it's been that long. Oh, congratulations, y'all.
Congratulations,
Jessica A.
Jessica. On a lighter note, I know
Congratulations.
that's right. That's good.
Oh, I'm excited for you guys. That's awesome. Oh, I went ahead and blocked him because he's gonna propose me.
Ah, all right. See, that's decorum and
And decorum
poise.
and poise.
Yeah. So, all
Decorum and
right.
poise.
Demond says I would have bulldogged Will Smith off that stage. I know that's right. I would have ran right on
Most
behind him, scooped him, and
right.
threw him
So
off the stage.
that's why I
How
said
dare
number
you
one
slap me and turn your back?
and turn
Absolutely.
your back.
That was extreme
Exactly.
discipline. I think I'm disciplined and have self control,
Ooh,
but bruh has the extreme trophy. Yes, he does. Because at the end of the day, if you are a fighting guy,
right. That's why I said number one.
once you realize this dude slapped me and you slapped me in front of all these people,
It's going.
I have to. Like,
It's
you heard what
heavy.
I say? Yeah.
Exactly. That's why when you said like he's not a fighter, I'm like, I mean, that was, I guess, I would say that was obvious to me that that's not in his character
Yeah.
or his nature.
He
Like,
was, Diane says that he was embarrassed after the fact. Videos of him after the
yeah.
fact are sad. Yes, he was definitely
Hmm.
embarrassed. Joe said he should have fell on the ground. I've fallen and can't get it. He should have did something. He should have actually, at that point, like, he actually knocked me out. I can't fight
Stop. Oh God, Jesus.
Yeah. And, of course, Chantel is,
Still waiting.
no, on here agreeing with everything her beautiful husband says.
Ah!
Agreed, Chantel says to Joe's Joe's words. Devon says you don't slap a man first off,
That's a
but you
grown
won't slap
man.
me. Okay, turn your back. No, no, no.
Yeah, that's a grown man. It's like he. That's why it was, I think, also shocking to Chris Rock because he's like, I know you, you know me, you know my character, whatever, and you know that this is what I do. You know harm, right? But
Right.
this is what I do. But
Yeah.
so you gonna do this? You gonna slap me in
Right.
front of my friends?
Right. Right. Right.
And Chris Rock is like deeply wounded by this because you know that that's not my character.
Yeah. And
He's
and
like,
and it is said that Chris Rock shared that he didn't know anything about alopecia. I think it's quite arrogant to think that everybody knows whatever she shares.
that's the point I was making
Yeah.
earlier.
Everybody don't
And
know your
they're saying
life.
like, oh, and you did this documentary about black women and hair and all this kind of stuff, and it's like, but you're still assuming that he knew.
And even though he did the now let's think about it. He did the documentary, and in the he did a documentary, and he also did a comedy special on hair and black people and all that. And all through it, he's joking.
Hmm.
Although he's doing a documentary, he's killing jokes in there about people's hair,
Hmm.
weave, and bald head or the blue hair and whatever. So he the horse hair, that was the '90s
Yeah,
thing. It's
they
all about the horse
was
hair.
yeah.
Yeah, it was all jokes. So protect your wife, but in a way that maturity still wins. Protect your husband in a way that is not emasculating and embarrassing.
Hmm.
You're never going to be everything
To everybody.
to everybody.
Hmm.
Um, I'm sorry. You're never going to be everything to your spouse, rather. Be who you are and be that so tremendously that whoever you are or whatever you are to your spouse is irreplaceable.
Right. Right.
So much so that whatever Tupac was to her is irreplaceable, obviously. So be whatever Will is, be that to where that is irreplaceable, and she always chooses you for that. You know what I mean?
The one says, "Thank you for pronouncing his name correctly." Salute.
No, that's what's up. All right. So listen, hey, y'all share this, but let me talk about this. If we have about 2 slots available in May, I think, for uh, couples counseling. There's only 2 slots. So we're going to open those 2 slots for 2 couples, and whoever grabs it, grabs it. We stay quite booked with couples counseling, so there are only 2 slots, and it's probably like the end of May that you'll be able to start. But you're going to have to get it.
Like the middle, because when I forgot to tell you what I was taking up there last May.
So it's the end of, so
Like the middle portion.
so it's June. Let's just say June. All right, so May is gone. So there are 2 slots of. We'll have to tell you how many slots are available in June. May is gone. I thought it was a slot open in May. May is gone. You have to see if there's a slot available in June. So what you're gonna have to do is email us at jmarcellusw@gmail.com or inbox us here. jmarcellusw. Put jmarcellusw please at gmail.com, or you can inbox us to get it in. Let me just ask those of you all who are on here, perhaps now the biscuits was trash. Okay. Now, those of you all who are on here who've either had counseling from us or you are aware of our counseling, let me ask you your thoughts. Would you recommend counseling, period? And would you also recommend it from the illustrious Jared and Marquita? We recommend it. It is life saving, even. And so, yeah, there go Jessica. Yeah. So, definitely get it in, get it in, get it in, get it in, and inbox us now because if you wait, somebody else is going to take that spot. So, inbox us now and get it in so that you can definitely either repair your relationship. It doesn't have to be marriage. Either repair your relationship or work on a great foundation that's already there, preventive measures, or there's some issues that you need to address. Let's address them. Let's not sweep them under the rug because they're going to stay there and it becomes something you'll be meant to start tripping over because just because it's under the rug doesn't mean that it's not going to be a problem. All right. You got anything else, baby? Okay, what does say? What does say? How much do you charge for counseling? I have about 4 couples that need it bad. Inbox us. Inbox us. When you inbox us, let us know what you need and give us your email address. All right, give us your email address, and we will make sure that you get information. If you have my phone number, texting me is not going to cut it because we are professionals. Can we get them to look? Yeah, texting me is not going to cut it. Calling me, hey man, I'll talk to you, but I'm going to eventually share with you what you're going to need to do in order to make it happen. All right. Yes, I recommend, especially before marriage. Dia says highly recommend. Okay, dope. Thank y'all. Appreciate that. Um, what else? Cedric says it ain't for the weak, but it will make your marriage strong. It saved our marriage from failing after 7 years. Yep, and they are an incredible, incredible couple, Jasmine and Cedric. All right, love y'all. Share this. Share this. If y'all think somebody else can benefit from it, hit the share button.
Simple.
Like it, share it, and we'll peace y'all out. We'll see y'all. Oh, go over to YouTube.
Yes.
How to Make Love Work, our YouTube channel. Subscribe there. Oh, can I tell them now? Oh, wait.
No, you can tell them.
Go ahead.
Whatever. I don't know what you're talking about.
What you talking about? I can tell them now then.
Just tell them.
So we have a an event happening in October.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. No way.
Okay, so let's slow down and tell them about this. So we have a what is it called?
It's like a couple's trip.
A couples trip, couples getaway trip. No story time tonight. We have a couples trip coming up in October. It's going to be dope. It's going to be all kind of stuff that's happening.
We're
And
not pregnant. No, we're not
no, no,
pregnant.
no, we're not pregnant. And we need y'all. We want y'all to be there with us. The registration and everything else. We'll get y'all all the information. And it's almost going to be like a cruise. It's not a cruise, but it's going to be like a cruise where everything is paid for.
Yeah.
All right, once you pay your money, everything is paid for from food, drinks, uh, hotel. The only thing that's not paid for is you actually getting there. But once you do it, then everything is paid for. So some of the stuff that's happening, cupcake wars, not so newlywed game. We're gonna do live couples counseling. So we're gonna put some people up, and they're gonna actually be counseled in the hot seat by us right there. Now, couples means it doesn't matter where you are in your dating situation, whether you've been married for forever,
or where you are in the country,
or where you are in the country, or whether you just started dating, or whether you are engaged, or whatever it case to be. It's going to be a commitment ceremony. That may be the time when you say, "Hey, man, I'm gonna go ahead and engage to her," or that may be the time that you both say, "We've been dating for a while. I think it is time for us to be exclusive." And it's gonna be a how to make love or date night and a whole lot of other stuff. So it's gonna be in Tampa, right?
Yeah,
It's gonna be in Tampa. I say that because we have our team is working on all of that. So very excited about our team. Actually, our team is spread out over the country. One is in New York, and another one is in Texas, I think.
Memphis.
Memphis.
Oh, wow.
So our team is dope. They are working on it, and we are checking off some stuff, and we are doing our part too. So it's going to be in Tampa. Tampa, Florida is going to be in Tampa. What about engaged couples? All couples. Yep, all couples. Engaged, married, uh, just messing around. And you may, or this may be your side piece, and you may decide to get away with your mistress in Tampa and leave the wife behind. Any couple, it don't even matter. You don't like that? It don't even matter. Just it don't matter. Just couples, 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 couples. All right.
I bet not know you pop up like that. That's not gonna fly.
Yeah. So right up to the road.
Right
What
up
did he
the
say?
road. Right on. It's right up the road. Lord, the
Oh,
glass.
I can't see what he's saying. Right up the road. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we will give you all the information. The videos will be coming out the top of the week. Top of the week, the video is going to come out with all the information. We'll give you the website to go to register and all of that. Everything you need to know is going to be there. We want our How to Make Love Work family to be there with us. Let's have some fun. It's going to be dope. I'm going to get a lot of free stuff and everything else. So I need you guys' support to be there.
That's that Jada look right there.
What look you gave me?
That's how I was looking at you, telling you don't say that. It's not gonna be that situation.
You know, you don't pull my string.
Good night, everybody.
What'd you say?
You hear me?
All right, love y'all. Share it. We'll see y'all later. Holy Spirit, activate. I'm in. All right.